All right. Hello again, everyone. It's Liam Air here, and I want to talk about the new patch notes that just got released with some changes to PvP and the new Teresse costume and my thoughts on how useful it's going to be for PvP, if at all. As always, if you read the patch notes yourself, save yourself the time. You'll need to watch this video, but if you're too lazy to do that, or you're curious on my thoughts, feel free to continue watching. So let's first talk about the Mirror Wars improvements that they posted. I know some people had been asking for fundamental changes in how the system works right now, fiddling with the SP, fiddling with how you pick opponents and stuff like that, or potentially even doing some kind of live mode where you 1v1 somebody. They have said that none of that is going to be happening in the near future, so these are their changes and they're not nearly as significant as we thought, but I do think they're moving in the right direction. This first change in particular is something I asked about probably a quarter of a year ago, where right now, if you make it into the top 10 or even the top 20 or 30 of players, you oftentimes find yourself fighting the same few people. And especially when you're competing for the top 10, it becomes very easy to counter specific attack or specific offenses and specific defenses because you know who you're going to play. You know who's right above you and who's right below you. And the range of players that you could attack and be attacked by was so small. They're increasing that range a little bit and making it so you can't attack the same person until at least 5 matches have gone by, which is going to make it harder to counter specific attacks and specific defenses, which I think is really good for the game. I think it's better to, it should be done in a way that you have to form an offense that does well against all defenses and a defense that does well against all offenses instead of countering a specific strat that you see in the replay. If you're a newer player, I think these two new tiers that they're adding, Ruby and Sapphire. Sapphire is going to be added between Masters and Diamond, and Ruby is going to be added between Diamond and Platinum. I think are going to be really good, not only just for like, oh cool, I have a new ranking, but also because the Diamond rewards are only going to be better. So previously you had to make it all the way till Masters to the top 1,000 to get 1,000 diamonds. It's now going to be easier to get increments of 30 or even 100 in between. While you're working your way up. And the same thing with Ruby. If you are a very new player and you're kind of stuck in gold platinum, it's going to be easier to get not 100, not a ton of extra diamonds, but you are going to get an extra 30, 60 than you would have before. So I think this is going to be really good, especially if you're a new player. So you should be happy for these changes. So excited for that. I don't ever drop below Masters 3, so I don't really care. But then with the addition of upgrade rewards, so this is actually really interesting. They're making it so that you get bonus diamonds the first time each week that you hit a certain threshold. So if you make it to Challenger at all, you will get you'll have gotten all these diamonds while you make your way up, and then you'll also get 100 diamonds the first time you hit Challenger. You don't have to end Challenger, to my understanding, but you'll get a bonus 100, and if you hit Champion, even for 1 second, you'll get a bonus 100 diamonds. And so this encourages you to use all your daily attacks at the same time to reach as high of a level as you can. If you peak at Grandmaster, try to peak at Grandmaster as early as possible, and if you can make it a Challenger, great. And if you peak at Master, try to peak into Grandmaster 3 just once, so you get that bonus 80 diamonds, even if you don't end there, and there's no way you could end there. And I would even encourage people, like, if you really want to min-max this, pick a time of day when not a lot of people are attacking. I don't know when those are, but maybe when most people are asleep, and attack then, right? And see if you can sneak into a tier above where you normally would be able to and get some extra diamonds. And this is just a win for everybody all around. I think you should all be happy with that. Yeah, they're also changing the medals and adding some stuff to Mirror Wars. The main takeaway is they're just increasing. There's not much to say here, especially at the higher ranks you get more medals, so you want to stay at higher ranks for longer and fight more there. And then they're adding a couple things to the store. They're right now adding some exclusive gear tickets. Maybe pick up one if you want. I have like 50,000 medals, so I might pick up one, but don't spend all of this on this. They might add more stuff to the shop in the future. I regretted spending some of my golden threads on an exclusive gear ticket. It did not give me the gear I wanted, but you might pick at one because most of us, we have way too many medals. So yeah, keep it like that. But if you're a newer player, in general, in my opinion, you should not be spending your medals on that. You should be spending your medals on the 3R contract. That's, I think, the 3R contract and the 4-star rank up. These are both pretty useful, especially if you're a newer player. So yeah, aside from that, I think those are all the changes there. Let me briefly talk about Teresse. So I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed with Teresse. I thought she was going to become a carry with finally getting her second costume, especially because her exclusive gear continues to be the most useless exclusive gear, and that's competing with Eclipse, who has pretty niche uses for her exclusive gear. This one where they give her bonus attack percent on a unit with with low base attack and you know what, you're gonna bleed them to death. Like what is the point of this bonus if you're gonna attack? I don't know what they're doing with this, but they added a new costume for her, and I think it's decent. It's decent for PvP. I think it's going to be basically meta for PvE. There's new fiend, or you know, as the fiend hunt modes come out and all that, we're gonna need new types of buffers that allow us to min-max in different ways. Because right now you don't really run a physical and a magic-based comp together, but now you can do that. This buff is not as strong as H. Lathel's, and it is more expensive, and it doesn't last as long, but it buffs both attack and magic attack. So you can run mixed comps potentially more easily, and there's all kinds of new flexibilities that are going to open out of that. I think that's going to be really good for PvE. For PvP, I think she's going to be a little limited. The main use I could think of her right now is on defense if you're not running Gran. So she probably doesn't belong on offense because 3 SP is just way too expensive, and you already have a buffer in Lathel who's 1 SP, and that's the nice thing about Lathel's. H. Lathel's is only 1 SP, and Helena's only 2 SP, but this being 3, unless there's some reduction in her potentials, I can't see her being used much on offense. But on defense, if you're not running Gran, the reason I say not running Gran is because Gran is really, really good on defense, but she's very expensive. She requires 6 SP, and then that leaves the rest of your team with only 6 SP. So if you have units that require 3 or 4 SP, you can only run like 1 or 2 costumes, even if they all live the first turn. So with Teresse here, I would only use her if you're not running Gran, and so you can expect to have 12 SP on turn 2 when you get to go on defense. Otherwise, she's probably going to take too much SP away from your other units. They're not going to have enough for their own costumes. So yeah, that's the only use I could see for her if you're not running Gran on defense. Like I'm not running. I actually run Teresse right now, so I might mix her out. See what I can do. But all of this is going to depend on potentials. See if they give her more ways to be tanky or more ways to do damage in some way, shape, or form. Right now, it's not looking like it, given that she has a buff and she has a push, right? But also she has a third costume coming out later this year. But as of right now, I don't think she's going to be like super crazy in PvP. Maybe just on defense. So with that, that's all I wanted to say. As always, if you have questions or comments, feel free to add them in the comments below. And as always, please, I don't care if you like the video or share it, but please give me a like on my room. What are we at now? Oh, I can't even see. No, my profile. 23 hearts. Try to hit 30. But yeah, as always, have fun in PvP. If you have questions or discussions, feel free to hit me up, especially in the Discord. That's where I'm active the most. And I'll catch you guys later.